Normally you wait until this is out to get the heat shield, but I had driving to do, so I fished it out below it. So I'm going to spray it now, but normally after you get this out is when you could get the heat shield off and spray the studs. And I'm actually just going to leave my mass airflow sensor in there. If you don't have enough room to put it out of the way with it on, you'll have to take it out. It's just 2 screws, it pops out. So normally this heat shield is held with 3 of these. I think they're 12s. There's one right here, one here, and one right there. Take them out. And you actually fish this piece out down below the radiator hoses and the charge pipe. You don't have to turn it around, you can pretty much just get it out straight that way. I would actually recommend spraying them and then waiting a while. I've already sprayed them yesterday, so it should be good. So now we have to take off this belly pan. It looks like 4 Phillips screws, and there's these little flathead, not really a screw, it looks like it's just a 1/4 turn lock and clip, and it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Yep, they're just little 1/4 turn flatheads. Okay, so then in 1, 2, 3, 4 locations, there's a black lip that it slides backwards and off of. Looks like down here you need 3 14s for the flange. Probably 2 more 14s for those brackets. But I'm going to spray these real quick. Everybody needed this stuff. It's pretty awesome. So, it'd be nice to have one of these too. O2 socket. Trying to get the camera in a good viewing angle, but it's kind of in the way. So I'm getting the camera back out of here. Obviously though, take these 3 off. Those 3 nuts. Studs may come with it. Who cares for now? And then it might actually be easier to take the bolt holding this bracket to the oil pan and this bolt too first, and take these brackets with the old downpipe. This clip right here. Push it, unclip it, and then get a pick so you can pull the tabs of that plastic in and pull this out so that you don't break it. It's hard to see those ears right there and the one down below. You press them with the pick so it can come out. Now I don't have to try to get that O2 sensor out. I'll just take it out with the downpipe. If your studs do stay, there's enough. If you grab that flex, grab the pipe right in front of the flex section. Put your other hand, like your palm, on the beginning of the flex. You can push it towards the rear of the car and get it off of the studs. Just to get that side loose. Alright, so I got everything disconnected down below. Got the O2 sensor harness completely free. Last remaining piece of the puzzle is the 4 bolts on holding them on up here. Oh, I don't want to break that. Not at all going to say this is recommended, but I'm going to give it a little shock. I don't really need the U-joint, but my extension isn't long enough. That makes it way more of a pain to get the socket on the bolt, though. Then it can just fall. So now everything is free. I'm going to go down below and fish it out. If you were doing this piece of pipe at the same time, it'd be nice because it'd be out of the damn way. Well, I was trying to take the flex pipe to the passenger side and bring the down pipe on the driver's side of it, and try to do it the other way. So yeah, do it that way. Flex pipe driver's side, down pipe passenger side. And you might want to get the car a little higher off the ground so the down pipe doesn't run into the ground before you get it out of the car. Passenger side bracket was the first thing hitting the ground though, so once that's out of there, so let's start transferring everything over. And I guess before we chance breaking it, let's get the O2 sensor out of there. Either the flange is not clocked correctly, or these aren't perfect, because these are barely in there, and that doesn't line up. There we go. All those are pretty much lined up. No matter which way I try to spin that, it's not going to make that better. Here's my solution to that. For this one, it's going to enlarge it to 3/8, not much bigger. Just going to go to 5/16 on these ones. I'm going to temporarily put one in that hole. Do the O2 sensor before the heat shield. See, the studs didn't matter because it already has studs in there. And new nuts. This step's unnecessary, but I'm going to double nut the stud and then secure that stud into the flange. Since I have all the heat shield bolts loose still, or slightly, bring it to 10 with me, because there's one on the passenger side right under the turbo flange that you probably can't get to with it in. So I'm going to test fit it and make sure everything's clocked right. If it is, I might have to shift it away a little bit, tighten that 110. Be careful of the O2 sensor wiring if you put it in there beforehand. So I did have to pull the downpipe off of the flange up above. Just let it rest in here, wherever it's sit, and tighten up the top two heat shield bolts on the passenger side, because you can't get to them. I think I'm going to loosen this bolt on the heat shield, so I'm going to push it apart and put this part of the clamp right behind this piece of the heat shield, and it'll keep this part away from the engine. So when you are putting your crap together with the heat shield, make sure that this piece of the heat shield, it's kind of hard to tell, but basically the edge near the O2 sensor lies in between these pieces on the clamp, not behind it, because that happens. So I got the V-band clamp where I want, like that, so it's no longer hitting the block at all. Now I'm going to get these brackets back on, right here, this one, get everything just kind of snugged up, go to the top, put them up there, I'll crank everything down tight, come back down here, button everything up, and it should be good to go. Everything snug down here. So nice working on new stuff. All the threads are clean to the point where everything goes all the way in by hand, about everywhere on the car. Long extension, U-joint, deep 14 for the V-band. Front goes up above this, and then you also gotta catch those floor tabs. The shoulder on that, it's in this, so I get it tightened up to the point where the shoulder is already set up in there. Then grab all those quarter turn pieces. Okay, after you got all those, go through and tighten the Phillips. I mean, I guess you can pick them up after you drive away, but I like to put my stuff away and make sure I'm not missing nothing. Because if I am, it's probably in there somewhere. Which never happens. I've already got the O2 wire harness snapped in, plugged in. Gotta get the intake on. Okay, so I learned a few things. Do not leave heat shield bolts loose. Put that V-band clamp where I said. Don't put the intake on before you put the top heat shield on. Bye. Wouldn't hurt to do a test fire before you put it on the ground, but I'm going to go ahead and just trust myself everything's good. I'm going to put it down, go get it clean clothes so I don't get my car all dirty, come down and start her up. Alright, so downpipe's in. Going to do the testing right now. And I'm using that time. Actually, I'm going to get something else, and I'm using that time to do the testing. Hey, goofball.
What?
Where are we going?
At Domino's to get cheap pizza, and you can get your very own.
Oh, I can?
Yeah.
I have your permission?
Daddy, if you want your very own pizza, Daddy, then you can get your very own pizza if you want some.
Oh, okay.